Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Moltrop here, coming at you with another StarCraft commentary, and this should be a fun match. This is a random replay that I found. Found a replay pack, a Jaedong replay pack. Let's go ahead and turn this off. And Jaedong replay pack from, I believe, 2012. I'm not exactly sure when these games were played, but this is Jaedong versus Cal. And Cal, I don't believe is playing anymore, so this is definitely an old pack. And this was from an Oz replay pack, it looked like. So it's from when they were on the team, which would put it 2010 to 2012. So really excited about it. This is Jaedong here at the left side of the map. He's going to be the blue Zerg player, and this is going to be Cal, aka Gujilla, up here at the top middle of the map. And looking forward to this game. And by the way, I'm doing another Jaedong commentary, even though we just did a bunch of Jaedong recently, just to mention one more time, because I forgot to mention this during the live broadcast, that Jaedong just went into the military, so he's basically done. Like, he was playing in the ASL and stuff like that. He was still playing StarCraft and everything, but he's in the military now, and so he's out of it. He's done. So, you know, it was kind of also one of the reasons why we wanted to do the Jaedong cast for the live cast, was because it was a kind of a farewell to him, and I forgot to mention that, but oh well. And by the way, if you did watch the live cast, or if you watched the VOD of the live cast, I am looking for some feedback. So, you know, if there's anything that you want to see differently, done differently, or more of, or less of in the future, then please do let me know, because it did go pretty well. And I'm excited about how it went. I feel a little bit bad because I had all these transitions and stuff set up, and then I messed up several of them. They still went okay, but like I had the stuff set up wrong when I started the match, and so anyway. But regardless, other than some kind of screw-ups with the timings and the transitions, I think it went pretty well, and a lot of people seem to enjoy it, and I've been getting a lot of positive stuff. So. I think we're going to do it again. Ladies and gentlemen. We're going to try another one. And like I said before, I found some old VODs of old OSLs, so I basically think I'm going to pick another OSL from the olden days. And, whoa, you can zoom out really freaking far. Holy crap, I didn't realize you could zoom out that far. That's amazing. I just, like, accidentally hit my scroll wheel there, and it zoomed out pretty far. Anyway, Cal is going for the Forge expansion. Got his cannon up first, playing really safely, and Jaedong's just running out with some Zerglings. That isn't going to be too much of a threat, I don't think. I think Cal's going to be able to block his natural pretty easily. There's a gateway, and he's bringing in some probes just to be there at the exact perfect moment to block, to make sure nothing can run by there. So anyway, let me know if you have any feedback about the live cast, though. I'd love to hear what else you want to have happen, because we're going to probably do an entire OSL from the early 2000s and then do a live cast of the finals after we do the whole OSL. So that's going to be kind of fun. It'll be, you know, kind of very similar to the old days where we would put all the, you know, the entire OSL on YouTube and then do a live cast of the finals. So we're going to do that. I have to figure out which OSL to do. So if you have any favorite OSLs, let me know what your favorite is too. Maybe we'll try and pick the most exciting OSL. Not just the finals, but the whole tournament, you know. So, again, no spoilers, because hopefully, if we're doing one that's older OSL from before I was casting, then a lot of you guys might not even know what the result was, and it'll be a little bit more exciting to kind of not know as we go through the old tournaments and that kind of thing. So anyway, just something to think about. So yeah, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of the live cast and what you want to see differently, and any opinions along those lines. Like I said, I have been getting a lot of positive feedback, and I'm really appreciative. It's been cool to have to see that people have been enjoying it, but I want to improve it as well. So, you know, even if it's, you know, a little nitpicky or something like that, like, that's okay. I don't mind if you guys are like, oh well, actually I really like this little minor difference to be changed. Anyway, so without further discussion of that for the moment, let's go ahead and focus entirely on the game. This is Jaedong versus Cal. If you don't know Cal, by the way, he is actually one of the 6 dragons. Like, he's probably like the least known of the 6 dragons. Like, he's like the ghostier of the 6 dragons of StarCraft. I had to dig up that reference. I have to admit it. I didn't know Ghostier's name off the top of my head. But he's like, you know, still really, really solid. He never won any tournaments, I don't believe, unless you count the, I believe he won the OSC at one point. And OSC was, I don't remember what that stood for exactly, but it was basically the qualifying tournament. So like, it was kind of like the amateur tournament, but they made it like its own tournament where if you won, or maybe they did it with the MSL. I don't remember which one it was, but there was like a qualifying tournament basically where if you won the little mini tournament of amateurs that weren't already qualified for the next season, you got a special seed into the next season of the tournament. And so it was kind of like a, you know, not really a title because you were beating only amateurs or only people that weren't qualified rather. And so it like wasn't as prestigious, but anyway, so Cal won some of those, which is just a strong thing to do. And I believe he got as far as the semifinals in a normal tournament at one point in his career, but still not like, you know, super strong top tier player, but strong enough to be counted as one of the 6 dragons. You know, even though he was probably the least accomplished of the 6 dragons, I guess. Anyway, so point being, even though he's not quite on Jaedong's level, Cal is at a level that he can take out Jaedong. It is not out of his power that he could take out Jaedong, and so really excited to see how he does here. We're just seeing him harassed with a lot of these Corsairs. The Hydralisk Den is now just completed. He's actually researching Lurker Tech immediately. Let's get some Scourge out. Oh, can he take out this Corsair with those Scourge is a good question. He's gonna go after it. Looks like that Corsair is gonna be fine. Another Corsair over here harassing this Overlord as well. Yeah, he's gonna escape completely. And you know, we've seen a lot of these PvZ games recently where keeping your we've been reminded of how keeping your Corsair count high if you're gonna try and maintain air superiority is a huge deal. We do have cannons warping in the main. Oh, that's just an extra pylon. It's not a second cannon actually. So Cal not super worried about a, you know, a Mutalisk push or something like that. I believe Cal knows at this point about this extra base, and so we have Jaedong having this bottom right base. So this is going to be a nice position for him to have this base in the bottom right because, oh, and Zealots are pushing out here just to put some pressure on. These sunken colonies are kind of coming just in time. He's got a nice Sim City as well, so this is an impenetrable wall for this just a little clump of Zealots. With 2 sunken colonies behind there, it's going to be just fine. He's pushing out with yet more Zealots, though, just trying to put even more pressure on. Scourge are just running around trying to scout what's going on. Corsairs are kind of chilling in the main, and just building up that Corsair count. So he's up to 5. He's about to have a 6th one. And actually, Cal is going in with a little bit of an attack with these Zealots. I'm not sure if that was advisable, and it was not, in fact. And he loses a Zealot and loses some shields off of a couple of Zealots, so not too big of a deal there. Not sure exactly what he was hoping to accomplish at that point, but maybe he was hoping to get a run by and try and kill some drones. But Jaedong is just all on top of his Sim City, building some beautiful walls there, and I love this addition of the Spore Colony because that means that he can't just run in with Corsairs and do harassment on those Overlords, and critically he can't just run in, harass the Overlords out of the way, and then come in with Dark Templars to go for the kill. And here we go, he's got up his 6 Corsairs now. He's going in for an attack. Is he going to be able to defend against this? Whoa, there's a lot of Scourge chasing him. He's probably cloned those Scourge perfectly, but it looks like Cal is going to be able to escape with these Corsairs back to his home base. He's going to have to do a little bit of micro. Yeah, the Scourge are going to fall back as well. So Cal just kind of falling back here. Sorry, I completely missed these 2 morphing lurkers on the side. Just doing a little bit of harassment on the front door of Cal here. He's got +1 weapons upgrading, and I believe that Cal doesn't have an observatory at all. Yeah, he's got the robotics facility, but he doesn't have the observatory, so he may actually lose this forge, which is researching +1 weapons, which is a huge deal. You know, it's not going to be too big of a deal in the Zealots versus in the ground battle, I guess, but as far as just the rate of fire of killing off buildings and larger units, it's going to be a pretty big deal. So, oh, he's going to use the Archon trick. He's attacking his own Zealot, and he actually messes it up. Oh, no. That is really bad. What you do is you can put a Zealot on top of the Lurker and then attack it with your Archon, and the splash damage from the Archon can actually kill the Lurker, but he actually missed, and he had his Zealot not directly on top of the Lurker, and so it didn't actually kill it. So Jaedong has only made a couple Lurkers here to kind of harass with, but critically he's going to have Lurkers behind the lines as well, and actually he's producing a lot of Mutalisks right now, trying to go for that air switch and building up a clump of Mutalisks. It looks like he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Mutalisks, I believe. Cal is moving out to try and take a third base as well, by the way, which is very, very crucial because Jaedong is taking a fourth. Probably going to take a fifth before too long. And this is great because this is why he took this expansion, because Jaedong can have this expansion be heavily defended, and it's also going to protect this expansion, except for, of course, if there's an air attack. Cal moving in with a bunch of Zealots as well. Again, not sure what he's hoping to accomplish here, except for losing Zealots. Yeah, now there's Lurkers in addition to the Sunken Colonies, what have you, so not going to be able to accomplish anything at all here. It's, at the very least, though, it is going to distract Jaedong. He's got 10 Corsairs out now. 10 Corsairs is definitely critical mass, so he can easily kill off Overlords. He can easily kill off any Scourge that are attacking unless they're kind of perfectly surrounding. Even if they're perfectly surrounding, 10 Corsairs might be too much, actually, for him to actually deal with that. It might just be impossible for Jaedong to deal with that amount of Corsairs, but he's going to try. He is going to try. He's got a dozen Scourge and several Mutalisks. If he can get out... if he can get a perfect cloning on the Scourge, it's possibly could attack and to kill off this Corsair count, but I just don't know. There's another Corsair. He's getting out 10, 11 Corsairs. He's got a shuttle out as well. He's dropped some units into this base. This is perfect. He's going to just bypass all of these defenses. Look at these Corsairs going in, but here comes the air army of Jaedong coming in for the counterattack. He's going to try and intercept. This is going to be huge. The shuttle is there as well. He's going to kill off that base with the Archon and the couple Zealots. But here comes the huge air army. He's going in. He's got everything spread out so the Corsairs can't do massive damage. He goes in with a huge side attack, but he doesn't get quite all the hits he needs to. 5 Corsairs survive, and with the Archon there to reinforce, the Corsairs are just staying in place and attacking. They're going to do a huge amount of damage. Oh my goodness. Jaedong going for the giant air attack, and he'd done it just perfectly. And you know, if Cal had stopped at like 7 or 8 Corsairs, that would have worked. And Jaedong would have air superiority, but instead, Jaedong is just down to a few Mutalisks. 5 Mutalisks left, and they are all badly damaged as well. Actually, they're all very, very low on hit points. So Jaedong does not take control of the air. He does get enough of an attack that he's able to have these 5 Mutalisks be able to run around and harass, stop Cal from getting up this 4th base, probably. But in the meantime, he's lost his 4th, and Cal has gotten his 3rd up, so Cal is now even actually probably ahead on economy. Jaedong going, Cal going with a lot of Zealots, and versus these Lurkers behind Sunkens, this is not advisable, I don't think. He's got the Observer there, but the drones are being pulled in order to block the Zealots away from the Lurkers, and there's just, yeah, too much damage being put out there. Loses a lot of units there, loses a ton of Zealots, and that was pretty badly executed, actually. Well, I shouldn't say badly executed as much as it wasn't that the execution bad, it was just the idea was bad. Like, there was just no way that he was going to be able to break. I guess if the drones hadn't been pulled, he'd be able to get his Zealots back behind there. Oh, that's what he needs to do. Nice storm. Jaedong able to pull up those Lurkers and fall them back slightly, or at least spread them out a little bit for future storms. But critically, Jaedong doesn't have this base. Where is Jaedong planning on expanding? He's got Zerglings running around on the map, but I believe he needs to have a 4th base at this point. It's just too bad of a situation for him. And Jaedong now trying to catch up on the upgrades as well. It's just, let's see, he's got plus. Where are his Evo chambers? So I believe, let's check Zergling here. Yeah, so he's actually got two Carapace already, so that's significant. I didn't realize he'd already gotten 2 Carapace, and he's actually getting level 3 Carapace right now. So that's a pretty big deal, especially because he did kill off that Forge earlier on. So Cal is a little bit behind on his upgrades here. He's only got +2 weapons. Well, only. He has +2 weapons, actually. That's pretty good. So they're about even at that point. The +3 weapons is going to finish a little bit later than the 3 Carapace, but again, with the Zerglings versus the, you know, just with the massive amounts of damage that's going to be going on with the Dragoons mixed in with the Storms, it's not going to make a huge amount of difference. If it was just like 1 Zealot versus 3 Zerglings, it might count, but I don't know if the upgrades are going to play too huge a role. If it's like a difference of a slight upgrade advantage, actually they're pretty much almost even there as well. We've got transporting for Overlords about to finish. It just does finish, and so we're gonna see Jaedong going in with some. Oh, I didn't even realize he had some Guardians morphing over here. Again, sorry. You know, it is it's difficult to keep track of the entire map at once, so I apologize that I do miss stuff. But it's kind of hard to focus on casting the game and observing at the same time. Here he comes in with some Scourge and takes out a couple of the Corsairs, but 2 survive, and they're gonna be able to chase away these Guardians as well. A nice little Storm is going to be able to polish off that injured Guardian as well. So 2 Corsairs is not a lot, but it's enough to stop these Guardians from harassing. He's going to be able to get mining at that 4th base before too long. Jaedong's trying to retake this 4th base here on the side as well. Again, just impenetrable defense here. So this base is, and that's the critical thing, is that Jaedong, and hold that thought, Jaedong going in with a massive drop. He's got several overlords filled to the gills with units. Cal knows this is happening, so he's been building extra cannons in his main. He's got zealots there as well. The detection is not a problem. And a Dark Swarm goes down on top of the lurkers. That is huge. A Dark Swarm in the main as well. These Zerglings are going to have their way with the cannons, just destroying everything. And Cal might lose his main base at this point. He's running in zealots. The zealots, of course, are going to be able to function perfectly well under the Dark Swarm. But it doesn't matter because the lurkers are too strong. He's got several lurkers, and they're going to be able to easily kill off these zealots. The Reavers, though, coming in to save the day, I think are going to probably polish this up. And the Overlords are having to run away. Cal's going for a little bit of a counterattack, at least pushing out into the middle of the map to try and put some counter pressure on. And it looks like these Reavers, rather, are eventually going to finish off these lurkers, especially now that there's no Dark Swarm. You can run in with extra zealots as well. Yeah, these lurkers are very low on hit points. They are doing a lot of damage, significant amount of damage. Oh, is he going up for another round? Robin gets another shot, ladies and gentlemen. This Templar is out of energy. These Reavers are very, very strong, but they're just by themselves. The Zealots, are the Zealots coming in from the side going to be enough to save the Reavers? They are not. The Reavers go down. He does have a significant amount of Zealots, but he doesn't have any Storm energy at all. He has one energy for one Storm. Cast your Storm. Cast the Storm. It's too late. The main base of Cal is going to go down, and so Cal is going in for a last-ditch counterattack. We saw that there was a little bit of a skirmish as Dragoons were plagued in the meantime. A beautiful Storm kills a ton of the Zerglings, and it's going to go after those Lurkers as well. Is Cal going to be able to do enough counterattack damage to counteract the fact that he's losing his main base right now? He's losing everything in the main. It looks like there's only a handful of Zerglings left, but it doesn't matter because 5 Lurkers are camping the gateways and killing the units as they exit the gateways. Cal is in big, big trouble here. He is, like I said, trying to kind of position himself around on the map, trying to maneuver and do significant damage to maintain map control. If he can somehow manage to, I don't know how he's going to get back in this game, to be honest, because if he was maybe dropping right now and with a handful of Zealots, you know, even 4 Zealots or a couple Zealots and an Archon or something like that in this base, and taking out Jaedong's 4th base before he's able to get defenses up, that might have been enough, but instead it's just not, and he loses his entire main base. And where does he even have any production buildings? His robotics support, his robotics facilities over here, but he's got 1 gateway. He's got 1 gateway building units, and I'm not sure how he's able to come back from this because Jaedong has destroyed all of his production facilities. Cal does have almost 100 supplied, 140 of Jaedong, so he's not too far behind in that sense, but what is he going to do right now? His mining is also pretty much obliterated. Jaedong's mining is going through the roof. You can see he's got a lot of minerals saved up right now. And in fact, is this even like a glitched replay? Because usually you wouldn't see Jaedong with this many hatcheries without using all of his money, but he is going out on the map and positioning around. Yeah, so this doesn't look like it's a glitched replay because he is like loading units in dropships or in drop lords. And so I don't know what's going on there. Cal does have this random Templar down here that I think has stopped him from, yeah, here's an Overlord coming in to spot that Dark Templar, so he can try and put another base there. But can Cal get back in this game is the question. It's very unlikely, I think, at this point, but you know, it is possible, I think, because he does have 3 bases still. He's almost mined out here, but he's still got full mining over here, full mining down here. He's got Reavers to defend, so Jaedong cannot finish him off at this point. And can Jaedong establish a 4th base is another question, because Jaedong's going to mine out his main before too long. So like Cal losing his main meant that he lost a lot of production buildings, but he didn't lose a ton as far as his economy went, because he was going to be, he transferred the probes out, and he was going to be mining out that base pretty soon anyway. So it's not like a huge thing. But here's the thing: Jaedong getting a 5th base, Jaedong getting a 6th base, Jaedong getting a 7th base, Cal stuck on 3. So, you know, this is a crucial moment where right now Cal needs to do some damage. He needs to stop these extra bases from coming up. And here's one is going to be killed off, or prevented, I should say, over here. Reavers are going to drop out here and prevent this other base as well. This is exactly what Cal needs to do to get back into this game. Kill off these extra side bases. Can he pop? Oh no, it goes after the Zerglings. He's actually going to kill a lot of Zerglings. Where's the shuttle? The shuttle has left. the building, and so this Reaver's just going to be going up against this Ultras by itself. Didn't kill off the hatchery, and that's critical. If he fired those Scarabs at the hatchery instead, I think he might have been able to kill it off. And I was paying attention to the side bases, so I missed the killing blow. Let's go ahead and rewind for a minute here just to watch that final battle. And yeah, I was so busy trying to think about the long game and how Cal could possibly get back into the long game that I was looking around all these side bases and didn't see that Jaedong was going in for the kill to kind of finish him off. And you know, he had these other units on the side, so it looked like it was a brilliant move where he actually was attacking from these units on the top, sort of on the top, as well as attacking from the front as well. And I think he kind of realized, like, okay, well, look, I'm losing these side bases, and let's see, we got a couple minutes left. Let's go ahead and speed up a little bit just to get to that point again towards the end of the map. But yeah, just brilliantly done by Jaedong. And you gotta hand it to him. Jaedong had basically, I'm not sure exactly how Cal lost this game in some ways, because he had prevented Jaedong from getting extra bases. He killed off this 4th base down here. Jaedong was at 3 bases and Cal was at 3 bases, and Cal was getting a 4th. He had the Reaver tech and what have you. And I think what turned it around was basically just the big doom drop in the main base. Like, if he'd done that, then that would have been, okay, there's the killing blow. That's the Ultralisk. I didn't see how many Ultralisks he had. That's gonna, there's nothing that can stop that many Ultralisks. It's like, they're like, oh, that storm tickles, ha ha ha. And the Scarabs are going to be able to do some damage, but not nearly enough. So just too many forces rampaging into the front here. Rampaging into the side as well to take out his second base. And the Reavers here and the Storms were there, but it just wasn't enough. So that was the killing blow there. Jaedong just said, look, I've got too many bases. He spent some of that money, maxed out, and just went in for the attack. And there was nothing that Cal could do about it. So yeah, Cal had a huge advantage in that game. He had, like I said, he kept Jaedong to 3 bases, and he managed to get 3 bases of his own. And usually if you've got 3 bases that are well defended with cannons and AoE units like Reavers, there's nothing that their third can do if you just keep their base count low. But just this huge doom drop in the main base, and Cal's units were just out on the map. They couldn't get back to reinforce, and he just couldn't quite kill off those units. And it was pretty close, because if he'd had just a couple more Reavers there or something like that to take out those lurkers, he could have saved his main base. And if he'd had all those production buildings along with his bases, he could have gotten up enough forces that he would have been able to stop these extra bases from going up in the late game. So I think Cal kind of almost had it in the bag, and the big drop in the main is what turned things back around for Jaedong. And after losing all of his production buildings, he just had one gateway here. After losing all of his production buildings, Cal just couldn't keep up, basically, in stopping those extra bases from going up. And that's kind of too bad. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching. GG, and I'll catch you guys next time.